it's another football game for me. It's a chance to go out there and play the right way and play better than I did last year.
How did you feel you played in that game?
I mean, it was a lot better since we won, that's for sure. But no, I could have been a lot better. For sure. I know run blocking and a couple plays there in pass game, almost got us there. So be a lot cleaner this year.
Does the style that they play, that Denver plays, and a lot of times there are 5 guys lined up along the front there, does that make it more difficult to do the outside zones, some of your bread and butter stuff into the offense?
I mean, it does. It's in the pass game, it does too. It's 5 on the line. It's 5-man front, so we all got one-on-ones. And in a run game, it presses our edges. So it does make it tougher, but I think we've come up with some things to be able to combat that.
How are you physically after last week?
A lot better. Each day it's gotten better, so I'm happy about that. And I know training staff and coaches are pleased about that as well.
How did you do that?
Just got unlucky, found a hole on the practice field and rolled the ankle. So just been getting a lot of treatment, getting back, and now it's a lot better.
Was that on Wednesday?
Yeah.
A lot of really good depth and young depth, and Colton has had a great year since getting plugged in at the end of last season to now. His camp was excellent. He got a lot of reps because of my stuff in camp and Trent being older, so they rested him a little bit more. So he's ready to go. We'll be fine and just attack each day as we can.
Cohn was very open in training camp about he had to figure out what it took to be a pro, and just the dedication and everything. And he said, being cut and then going on the practice squad last year was an eye opener. Have you noticed? Not that he was like a slacker, right, as a rookie, but have you just kind of noticed him getting it a little bit more?
Well, I think certainly. I think not only just in his approach and how he acts and how he takes care of himself and the things that he's on top of, but it showed in his play. I think everybody's very excited about Colton. I think he's a great player. He does a lot of things well, and he's gonna do great for us. He's a tough-nosed football player. Works very hard at it and is very, very good. And I think it's going to get, obviously, like I said, can't replace Trent, but he's ready to go, and he's done a great job getting himself in that position over the last year and a half.
Trent is not great, 46 weeks or who knows, but when you see a cart coming out and he's on the ground.
That was a little scary.
Yeah.
Thankfully, he said, screw the cart, I can get up. Because Debo and I were over there waiting to see what was going on as the trainers kind of told us to get away. But yeah, when they said get the cart, I was fearing the worst. I was fearing a little bit, but as soon as he stood up and the way he was talking, I was like, okay, I think that was a little premature, and thankfully it is what it is, and we'll get him back at some point this season versus the other alternative.
That said, we're kind of past the prime of the whole Luke Rodney speech, fire and brimstone, let's go get him. But as a leader, what's your message to the rest of the guys in the offensive line before we get to
Well, you just got to be right. You got to be on it. You have to be on every single detail about the game plan. And things are a little different the way you have to approach it because of who's on the other side of the ball. They have one of the greatest defensive players to ever play this game lining up on the other side, and you got to have a big sense of urgency about your assignment, about your technique, about the things that you do, and watching your film and watching what to do well and how to settle yourself and prepare yourself for what's going to be a really big fight. And we have a lot of guys that haven't had that chance against him yet, but we also have guys that have been there. Certainly Dan is well advertised on his last 6 games against this guy, and he's back and healthy this week and can help us out. And it's one of those. You can't change who you are. You can't change your approach, but you have to understand the urgency in which you have to get your job done.
For as much as 99 is referenced, I've never seen one beat 11, right?
No, one does not beat 11, but certainly one can stop the rest of what the 11 are trying to do. And so that's one of the biggest parts about playing offensive line is that all 5 of us have to do our job to get one play going off, and he certainly is a guy that can wreck that for us. So got to be on it.
Is there something about playing the Rams you think brings out the best in not only the team but the offensive line?
I think so. I mean, I don't know. I guess it's just one of those things where they're a division rival. They've been at the top for a number of years, and we feel as though we have as well. And a lot of these games over the last couple of years have been deciding factors for, playoff seeding, home field advantage, obviously an NFC championship thrown into the mix. So these games, they've always had a huge level of importance, and it was kind of the turning point of our season last year, getting the win on Monday. I think it was another Monday night game, and kind of springing what was like a 9 out of 11 run, and got us into the playoffs and all that kind of stuff. So these games always have a huge level of importance to them. I don't know if there's any different approach or anything like that to it, but we know each other very well. It's been a lot of the same core guys down there. It's been a lot of the same core guys up here, and so it's always a fun battle.